I want to see if these laws work the same way in the entertainment industries they work in the dope game. I'm trying to find out. You know what I'm saying? I saw how they work in the courtroom, so I want to see now if they work in the boardroom. Yeah, I'm Freeway Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. Just call me Rick Ross, it's all good. Mama named me Rick Ross, just for y'all who don't know. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no nickname, it ain't no name. Somebody gave me in the streets, but my mom and my dad named me Rick Ross. That's my government name. You know, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. Grew up right beside the 110 freeway. That's how I got my nickname, Freeway Rick. Started off just like any other kid, you know what I'm saying? Wanted to do right, you know, wanted to, believe it or not, be law enforcement, an airplane pilot, a firefighter, or something like that there. But you know, along the way, I got derailed. Played tennis during high school. My senior year, I was good enough in tennis to get a scholarship, but I couldn't read or write. So I found myself back in South Central Los Angeles. And at the age of 19, I was introduced to cocaine for the first time. Started off just helping one of my partners off. The first piece of cocaine I ever saw was $50. Got beat out of that by one of my big homies, you know, took me for a ride. Later on I learned the business, came up with $125. My partner came up with $125. We went in and bought what they call an 8-track. Never looked back after that, you know. Went from an 8-track to making, you know, I had a few days that I made $3 million in one day. Money is power, you know, here in America. You know, I tell a lot of the kids, you know, when I go out and speak at the schools, that people will respect your money when they don't respect you. So it's very important that you learn the laws of money. And a lot of people don't really understand the laws of money. And that's one of the things that I'm teaching right now. You know, in my autobiography, I'm teaching the laws of money. You know, how money works, how you're supposed to take money and let money work for you and not you work for money. It feels good when you can help your family. You know, a family member come to you, they finna get evicted out their house, their car in the impound, car got repoed. You know, you got the money to go get it out. That's positive. But the negative is that when you're selling drugs, somebody else is suffering, you know, and for you to enjoy the finer things of life, somebody else happens to suffer, is definitely not a good thing. A lot of people feel that that there's no hope, that if you in a certain position that you got to stay in that position, but I'm here to tell you that you don't have to stay in that position. You know, I was in prison with a life sentence without the possibility of parole, and I was broke. But I didn't give up on life. You know, I kept fighting, and you know, now I'm here today, best-selling author. I just had a documentary that just aired on Al Jazeera TV 6 weeks ago. Just Friday, I just sold my first reality show idea, 10 episodes. So, you know, if I can come back from where I was, then what about you? There was an article that that LA Magazine did in 2013, and when the guy wrote the article, he was finishing up an article that he had already wrote that he called Writing My Obituary. This guy wrote an article in LA Times where he said that he was writing my obituary as if I was dead. And when I go out and speak to a lot of the kids, I like to bring that magazine with me. Make sure you check it out, lamag.com. And he talks about writing my obituary, but even though he was talking about writing my obituary, he talked about how buoyant I was about the things that I'm going to do once I got out of prison, when he thought that I was never going to get out. But having a life sentence was definitely a burden, and it weighed me down. I can remember the day that it came over the radio in the penitentiary that I had won my appeal, and the whole penitentiary was rooting for me. It was crazy, you know. I thought Jerry Springer was on, because usually the only time they get loud like that is when a fight jump off on Jerry Springer. And it was one of those Jerry Springer moments, and I was on the telephone, and the whole unit went up like, "What?" And I was like, "Man, what happened?" It was like, "You just won your appeal." So it was like one of those days, you know, that it felt like a gorilla had been taken off my back, and that you know, I was gonna be here with you today, you know, doing this interview.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. How was your relationship with the rapper?
Well, you know, I reached out to the rapper about 6 months ago, and he didn't take it too kindly. You know, he said some real nasty things about me, but none of them was true. You know what I'm saying? That's the good thing. None of them was true. If they'd have been true, I would have been hot. But you know, I would still like to work with him. I mean, it's a time with the pressure that young black men are under right now. I don't know if you're really aware, but if you really look at the pressure that they're putting on young black men, not just from society, but from the mothers, the fathers, the brothers. Right now, if you're a young black male in America, you're expected to be a millionaire. If you don't become a millionaire, then you're considered a failure. And that's why so many of our young black men feel hopeless, because they don't want to be plumbers and electricians and trash men. You know, their goals are so much higher. But I'm trying to let them know that it's okay to be a plumber, and that you can take a plumber's job or a barber and turn that into $1 million, but it starts slow. You know, when I started selling drugs, the first week I didn't become a millionaire. The first year I didn't become a millionaire. The second year I didn't become a millionaire. It took a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of learning. I had to study the business, and that's how I became a millionaire, and that's how I'm becoming a millionaire in the stuff that I'm doing now. Before I left prison, I read over 300 books, all business books. No street lick. I stopped watching TV. I stopped looking at the radio, listening to the radio. It was just strictly business. Focus, focus, focus. And that's what you got to do if you want to come up.